Let's learn how to knit the tiny Bobbles stitch. This technique is used in the short row sections of my Fiberfest shawl, and it produces these beautiful tiny bobbles. The pattern says to slip one with yarn in back for the beginning of this technique. So I'm going to use my contrast color, this orange, to slip one with yarn in back, and then knit, yarn over, knit into next stitch. Knit, yarn over, knit into one stitch, resulting in 3 stitches. And repeat. Slip one with yarn in back, knit, yarn over, knit into next stitch. Slip one with yarn in back, knit, yarn over, knit. Knit, yarn over, and knit into the next stitch. Slip one with yarn in back. So for you English style knitters holding the yarn in your right hand, knit and leave that stitch on the left needle, yarn over, and knit into the same stitch again. So you get a slip stitch, and then you get these 3 stitches coming from one stitch. Slip one with yarn in back, knit, yarn over, knit. Knit, yarn over, knit into the same stitch. Slip one with yarn in back, knit, yarn over, knit, and then take the stitch off the left needle. So keep on going until you reach the end of your row or until you reach your short row turn for the Fiberfest shawl. Knit, yarn over, knit, slip one with yarn in back. So I'm going to go to the end of my row here, and then we're going to do the fun part on the wrong side row. So it helps to have pointy needles for the wrong side row of the tiny bobbles because we're going to be knitting 3 together through the back loop. So insert that right needle through those 3 stitches through the back and pull the yarn, pull the yarn through. It's hard to do at the beginning of the row. Here we go. There we go. Knit 3 together through the back. And then you're going to slip one with yarn in back. So slip that same slip stitch and keep that yarn in back. Knit 3 together through the back loop. Insert the right needle through the back and pull it through those 3 stitches. Just like that. Slip one with yarn in back. Knit 3 together through the back loop. If it's hard to insert into those 3 stitches, you could also put that right needle in the front and then slide it to the back like that. That might help you loosen up those stitches. So you can knit 3 together through the back. Give it some practice. It gets easier as you go. Slip one, keeping that yarn in the back, and knit those 3 together through the back loop. There we go. So keep on going. That's the technique for the wrong side row. Slip with yarn in back, knit 3 together through the back loop. Make sure you get all 3 strands knitted together. So keep on practicing. Again, having pointy needles, those lace tip needles, these are a little bit blunt, so having a little bit more pointy needles will help you. And then the right side should look like this. So you have that tiny bobble from that knit 3 together, and then you have a float of yarn coming across that slip stitch from that slip that you did on the wrong side. So here's that tiny bobble technique again. It's really fun to work with contrasting colors, and if you have a similar color, it just gives a little shadow. So after you do that tiny bobble technique, you work with the other color in stockinette stitch, and in this pattern, I did 4 rows of stockinette stitch with that main color there, and then this little contrast tiny bobble is a 2 row, a right side and a wrong side, and then you just work knit across all the stitches, pearl on the wrong side with that other color, but you could customize it. You could put more stockinette stitches between those tiny bobble rows, or you could just do 2 rows of stockinette stitch, which would make the tiny bobbles fall closer together with fewer rows knitted between them. But there's that beautiful stitch pattern. Try it out in the Fiberfest shawl or apply it to your own colorful creations.